Global shipping bosses are warning of a perfect storm of pressures hitting the industry as tensions in the Middle East continue. Shipping, which moves 90% of global trade, is being squeezed by soaring energy costs, geopolitical instability and unclear environmental rules. Nearly 7 in 10 executives say the uncertainty is making it harder to make key decisions. The survey was carried out by Finland's marine technology company, Wärtsilä. Håkan Agnevall is president and CEO.
I would say as long as we don't see an escalation of the conflict where you really start to destroy important energy infrastructure, I think we can see a fairly quick recovery when the parties can get together and hopefully make an amicable agreement, so to say. Now, it will be different if both parties start to really destroy the energy infrastructure. So these are the short terms. I mean, we clearly also see short-term impact on container availability, etc., etc. But I think we can also see a fairly quick recovery if and when there is an agreement. If we look at the more long-term ramifications, because I think this is something to reflect upon. I think this is once again in a era of increased geopolitical tension. Energy is coming top on the agenda, on the political agenda, and it is becoming a topic of national security. It's becoming a topic of national sovereignty.
And in this world of volatile energy prices and geopolitical instability that you outline, how do shipping companies decide where to invest?
So basically, when you invest in shipping, you need to have a long-term perspective. Yes, we have short-term, a very dynamic and volatile situation. I think investments very much are looking at how do I create fuel flexibility and fuel efficiency. The decarb transition will take place over the coming decades. So it's really how do I deal with that with flexibility and fuel efficiency.
You talk about decarbonisation. I thought that was really interesting that 2/3 of shipping leaders say that environmental rules are unclear, yet decarbonisation is urgent. So how do you balance these huge investments with uncertain payback?
So basically, if you're a ship owner today, you need to have a 25 to 30-year time horizon because that's the lifetime of a vessel if you build it today. Yeah. And ship owners, they will, they need to de-risk 25 years going forward. And then you cannot only focus on, what is here today, but you need to take a strategic view. How is the world going to develop? How is regulation going to develop? How is fuel availability going to develop? And there is uncertainty around that, but there are a couple of things that are certain. You can deal with the situation by having fuel flexibility so you can adapt, and you need to continuously work with your operational excellence and fuel efficiency to stay competitive.
Now, China handles a huge share of global trade. I wonder how you think that the country's positioned in this shifting shipping landscape.
Now, China is a formidable player, both in the building of ships, more than half of the world's shipbuilding capacity, but also many of the major ship operators, they are Chinese. I think one of the key things is, of course, MEPC 83. There wasn't a decision that the vote on establishing the global carbon pricing mechanism was delayed. Let's see what's happened. I think the challenge that the industry is facing, we might enter an era where we will see a fragmented landscape of carbon pricing mechanism. Europe will have its carbon pricing mechanism. China is contemplating, and if we cannot get together, it will create even more complexity for the ship operators in the world. Now, in terms of decarbonizing the marine industry, China is very much engaged in MEPC 83. And China was actually one of the parties that supported the introduction of a global carbon pricing mechanism.